Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my makeup items that I purchase over and over and over again. Now, there's a lot of items in my collection that I absolutely love, but these are the ones that I've gone out and I use over and over again, and I always come back to them. Thought this was a great idea for a video. I've watched a couple other channels that have done this video, so I figured that I would join along. So I'm going to start with a couple of foundations. My favorite foundation stick is the one by Makeup Forever. It is the HD foundation stick. I would consider this to be a medium to almost full coverage. You can definitely build it up to a full coverage. This foundation stick is my absolute favorite. In my opinion, it is well worth the money. Each stick has 12.5 grams of product in it, and I get two because one's a little bit lighter and one's a little bit darker. If you're curious, I get Y245 and Y325. Those are my go-to shades. You can pick this up at Sephora. It is $43, I believe. So well worth the price. It lasts a pretty good amount of time as well. It just makes your skin look so nice, especially in pictures and on camera. So if you have a special occasion and where you want something quick, this is my go-to. It just makes your skin look absolutely flawless. The only con to this is it has a funky scent to it that you can only smell like when you first put it on and then it goes away. And it's almost like a really weird, subtle like fish scent, but it's not like, it's hard to explain. That's the only thing that I would say that they should look into fixing, but this stuff is amazing. My next favorite is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Coverage Camouflage Foundation. This is like face and body foundation. Broad spectrum SPF of 15. I've talked about this on my channel since I started my channel. This is my go-to absolute favorite full coverage foundation. I've made a couple videos specifically talking about like hyperpigmentation and melasma and my favorite full coverage products. I can link them up above and down below. But this stuff I will always purchase as long as they continue to make it. And it's just like a no-fail, like completely flawless. You're not going to see anything on your face, and it still looks like skin. So it doesn't look like cakey or powdery. The shade range initially wasn't the best. Like they really lacked some lighter shades. At one time, the lightest shade they had was the creamy tan, and this is good on my skin tone. They did add a couple of shades, which is a lot better. I think that their shade range could be a little bit better. This one is $43. You can get it at Ulta or wherever you like to shop. The standard bottle is 1 fluid ounce, which is super typical for foundations. My favorite way to use this is to mix in like a tiny bit of a facial oil or a foundation oil. It just makes your skin look absolutely perfect. This is the foundation that I'm wearing today, and I feel like it gives such a good amount of coverage, and it's also just very healthy and glowy. I did mix in a tiny bit of oil, but this is my go-to full coverage foundation. Completely worth the money. I will buy this over and over again. I hope that they never discontinue this. So I'm gonna kind of go in the order of how I apply my products. So next up is this concealer. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. I've purchased this over and over again since it came out. So my go-to shade is the one in the shade Neutralizer. This is the best. It's so brightening and it's just easy. It instantly just brightens everything up, and it doesn't set into any of the lines. So if you're struggling with like some small lines starting to come in, or if you have more mature skin and you have more fine lines, you will really like this stuff. It just doesn't settle and it really helps out a bunch. And it also has some anti-aging properties in it, which is great. This retails for $9.99 at Ulta, but I think that you can get it cheaper at Target, I would say. And the bottle is 0.2 fluid ounces in case you are curious. So this is more of my like everyday concealer. If I have a special occasion or if I want like a very covered under eye, today I actually have the Shape Tape on. But this one is my go-to for every day. It is so, so good, and it's super, super affordable. I personally love buying more drugstore priced items. I will spend the money if I think that a product is really worth it, like for example, this foundation stick, but you can find some really awesome products at the drugstore that are just as great. So like I will only spend the money if a product is really, really worth it and I can't find a better option at the drugstore. This powder is incredible. I've been using this faithfully for the past 3 years now, I would say, and it's the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I get the shade Banana. It's super brightening. It does not oxidize. It does not settle or look cakey. It just looks so brightening. It's the powder that I have on today. And I always get the shade Banana. They do have a translucent, and then they also have a green tone, but I always go with the Banana because I think that it is so brightening. The big one with this is that there is no flashback in the camera whatsoever. And this is $10 for 8 grams of product. I go through this nonstop, and it is 100% my favorite under eye setting powder that I have found, high end or low end. I find that a lot of the other powders, they look cakey or they oxidize, and that's not what you want under your eye. You want something that's gonna make it brightening, something that's gonna be there, something that's gonna set your concealer and just make you look better, not make you look worse. Now I have a lot of blushes in my collection that I absolutely love and that I would repurchase again, but none that I love as much as this one. This is the Becca Mineral Blush. This is in the shade Songbird. It is a perfect like pink peachy colored blush that's very neutral and has like a lot of warm undertones and flecks of gold in it. And the thing I love about it is that it blends so nicely with other products on your face. Like it doesn't matter what bronzer I use or what highlight I use or what foundation I use, this one just blends in so nicely, and I'm guessing that's because it's super finely milled. It is a mineral blush and it has the prettiest sheen to it. This is beautiful like in the summer with a nice tan. It's even pretty in the winter. You just have to go in with a very light hand if you have a similar skin tone to me. Another thing I absolutely love about this blush is that it lasts all day long and that it goes with any look. So if you want to do like a really fun purple or green or blue eye, or you want to just do something very neutral, this is the blush to go to. It's going to just blend in nice, and it's going to give you a really nice warm healthy glow with a really pretty like there blush, but it's not going to be fighting with the rest of the makeup on your face, if that makes sense. And that is really important to me in a blush, especially one that I'm going to be purchasing over and over again. And the blush retails for $38. You can get it at Sephora, and you get 6 grams of product with the blush. Next up is this highlight by Vintage Cosmetics. It's the highlight that I have on today. I have not found anything like this formula. It was supposed to be limited edition, but it's been on the website for like 3 years now, and I'm pretty sure it is their best-selling product. So this is the duo in Rose Quartz and Chocolate Diamond. This Rose Quartz shade is unbelievable. I use this all the time, and this is another one of those highlights that I love to wear, especially in the winter when I don't have that much of a tan. And it just looks wet on the skin. It blends in so seamlessly, and you would think that it would come out kind of pink or chalky. This formula is so silky. I don't know how to describe it, but it is seriously amazing. I will continue to buy this over and over again. I was trying to dupe it with the Wet n Wild highlighters. I think it was like the Blossom Glow or one of the like lighter ones that looked pink, but it just did not compare. So for me, it's worth the price. It's $35 for this. Each pan, I believe, is like almost 7 grams because the total is over 13. So here's the one I have on today. That's the Rose Quartz, and then this one is the Chocolate Diamond that would be more suited for darker skin tones, but absolutely stunning. This formula is so buttery soft. I've never felt anything like it. I find that it's even softer and more finely milled than the Becca highlighters, which are phenomenal. So let's talk about a couple of eyeshadows. I just fell out of the chair. So I didn't want to talk about palettes because I have a lot that are my favorites, but as we all know, it takes a very long time to get through a palette. I wanted to talk about eye products that I'm using over and over and that I'm going through very quickly. So the first ones that came to mind are the Colourpop Super Shock Shadows. These are so affordable and so awesome. They are the best single shadows, especially if you're traveling and say you just want to bring maybe like a couple of different looks. You can easily do that and just bring, you know, 4 of these little guys. Today I have the Super Shock Shadow on, and I did more of like a matte shade in the crease and blended it up above, and then I used the ultra metallic on the lid, and they just look so good together and they last. They're super pigmented. I just absolutely love them. And the thing I love the most about these is that you can just pop them on and blend it into your crease with your finger, and it looks like you put it on with a brush. Now you can also use a brush as well if you want to get like a better blend, but what I like to do first, especially with the matte shades, is I'll put it on my ring finger and I'll massage it into the crease area and just kind of like build the shape that I want to get with it and just put it in there, tap it in, start blending it, and then lastly I'll take a fluffy blending brush and I'll just go in and just kind of blend it out so it's a little bit more seamless. I also love to put the matte shade underneath my eyeline, and then on the inner corner I like to use the Ultra Metallics as well. I think that this product is fantastic. The only thing I've noticed that they've discontinued, or maybe they're no longer making, a couple of the shades that I really like, or at least one of them, and that is the shade Weenie. It is a really pretty rose gold, and the last time I went on to purchase this, because I'm hitting pan now, I didn't see it on the website as available, so I'm sure they have another color that is pretty similar that I can check out. If you have any recommendations for really pretty rose gold, let me know down below. Ulta sells these, they're $6, and one little pod is 2.1 grams of product, so it's gonna last you a good amount of time, which is great. I don't have any issues with these drying out. If you do not tighten them all the way, you may definitely have some issues, but I find that even it seems a little bit dry, as soon as you get the heat of your finger and you massage it, it's definitely going to break down any dry texture. But they did a great job with these. These are awesome, and for $6, they're totally amazing. And I like the fact that you can put them in your purse, on the go, wherever you want to keep them, and they're not going to make a mess. You know, they're in these tight little cute containers, and they're just very easy to carry around with you, and they're very easy to store. Love them. Next up, my favorite Kohl dark black eyeliner, aside from the MAC Cosmetics one. So I was purchasing that for a while. I love that, but I was looking for a more affordable dupe, and Rimmel offers the Scandal Eyes one, and it is super dark, and you get that same effect of that really dark Kohl smoky line, especially like on the waterline. And I buy this stuff over and over again. You can get it at Target for $3.99. I was so excited when I found something that I loved just as much as the MAC Kohl liner, and it lasts all day long, so like to take it off, it's a little bit tough. Similar to how the MAC Kohl liner is if you've tried that and the really dark black one. But if you're looking for a Kohl smoky liner, the Rimmel ones are really good. Definitely try them out. And I can't get over the fact that it's under $4. So whenever I can find something that is a dupe that is just as good as something that's high-end that I've loved, I get so excited. And I've been sharing my dupes over on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, you can check them out. I do it in my stories. I even made a makeup dupes highlight. I'm over there at OrganizationBeautyNation, and then I also share things like that over on my LiketoKnow.it as well, and that is Heather Bray. You can type in Heather Bray or OrganizationBeautyNation and it will pop up. I love mascara probably as much as I love lip products. They're probably like my top two of things that I buy way too much of, that I see a new commercial, I'm like, oh my god, I have to try that out, that looks so good. And I can never stick with just one mascara. I always like to use two different kinds at one time. I've done a lash video, it's been a while. I'll probably do an updated lash video soon. I don't ever wear falsies. I've actually never even tried them. So I always stick with mascaras and primers and just using a ton of mascara. So my favorite lash primers are by L'Oreal, particularly the Lash Paradise. Somebody said that it's exactly the same thing as a regular mascara, but whatever. If that means two of how good this is, then so be it. But I always start off using this mascara. This is the Lash Primer. It just conditions my lashes and just provides like a really nice primer. And then another thing that I like about this is I find that it's easier to remove my mascara like later on in the day or in the shower when I use a primer. Does anyone find that? So I just find that that's also a bonus too, right? Because you don't want something that's like holding onto your lash that's really hard to remove. You know, you could potentially like pull your lashes out or your lashes could fall out. So that's another reason why I've really been liking using the primer. So this will come as no surprise. This mascara I purchase over and over again. This is my favorite mascara to apply first. I find that it just builds it fluffs, it thickens. So these are each about like $9 or $10. And on Amazon, they sell them in the 2-pack. So if you wanted to get both of them together, you would save a little bit of money there. The only con to this one, not the primer, but the actual mascara, is that it does dry up very, very quickly, as I'm sure most of you know, but it is inexpensive. And I think that it beats pretty much all high-end mascaras. I've tried a bunch of the ones that everyone says are awesome, but these are just the mascaras that work the best for my type of eyelash. I feel like everybody's gonna have a favorite based on the type of lashes they have. So another favorite of mine is the Telescopic Carbon Black by L'Oreal. I have loved this for years. This is my go-to for lengthening and separating my mascara. I'll typically use the Voluminous or another mascara that's thickening. Again, I have not found anything for my lashes that I like better. And same goes with this. I have not found anything for my lashes that is going to separate them and lengthen them and really just make the most out of what I have. So these three are the mascara combination that I have on today, and I just love the way they work together. I'm always looking for new mascaras and better things to try out, but I always come back to these ones because I have not found anything that performs as well for me as these three mascaras do together. So another product that I purchase over and over again is the Milani Make It Last. This is the travel size, and it is very similar to like an all-nighter, but I love it because it's so fresh and it's so light, and the price is great. So it is $10 for, I think, a 2-ounce bottle, and then of course they sell the little travel bottle. So this is something that I purchase over and over again. I love taking it with me to travel. I like using it on eyeshadows if I want them to be a little bit more pigmented, and this is definitely my favorite setting spray that the drugstore has to offer. So my last and final category for this video is lip products, and it's probably my most favorite category. I do have a lot of them, and it was very hard to just narrow it down to ones that I keep buying over and over again because there are a lot of them that I would repurchase. But another thing that I love most about this category is most of them you can find at the drugstore, and they're very inexpensive. But I did want to mention there is one Ultra Satin lip color by Colourpop that I actually have it on today. I'm not sure that they make it anymore. It's in the shade Alyssa, and I bought like 3 of them when it first came out because I liked it so much, and it was just my favorite to wear every day. And I'm not sure that they still make that anymore or not. I think it was like a Kathleen Lights collaboration, but so pretty. And then on top of that today, I have the Dose of Colors. This is a lip gloss, and it is in the shade Messy Bun. I love using their lip glosses on top of any of my lipsticks or any more matte shades or even satin. I just think that it's such a nice touch. So this shade Messy Bun is one that I purchase over and over and over again. I just love the way it feels on my lips, and it smells like vanilla cupcakes, and the applicator is super nice too. It's just so velvety to put on your lips. I don't know how else to explain it. I think it's definitely worth the price point, and it's not like sticky. It's just like juicy and just rich, and I just love it. So it is like a very cool toned rosy pink color, I think they describe it as, and they're $17. You can get it like Ulta Beauty. They have a bunch of different shades. If you don't like this one, I'm gonna put more on actually because it's just so good. I love putting lip gloss on. Anyone else? It's just so glossy and rich. I love it. I can't get enough of this stuff. They have this really pretty like chocolatey shade. I think it's called Hot Cocoa. It's like a warm chocolatey brown. I want to get it. I'm not sure if I can pull it off with my skin tone or not, but it is just so pretty. I'll put it up on the screen. Whenever I see it, I was like, oh, I just want it. And then they have a couple of shades that have some like reflex in it. So if you wanted something like really shiny, they have a couple nice options for that. So next up in lips are 2 that I've just gone back to for years. And it is the L'Oreal Infallible Paints line. And these are hard to find. Well, at least this one is in the shade Tongue Tied. I've been able to get it at Walmart and Amazon, I think, but I have not seen it on Target's website or Ulta's website in quite a bit. But the shade is just perfect if you want to go for a neutral look. It is my favorite for that. And then my absolute favorite, more like everyday look, is this shade right here in Spicy Blush. It is again like a really pretty like pinky mauve color, something more that I gravitate towards. And I just think that the formula is great. I've been saying it forever. It reminds me of Rouge Pulp from the 90s. So my last products to mention are the ones by Revlon. They are the Hyper Matte Ultra D HD Matte Lip Mousse. And these are my two favorite shades, at least for this time of the year and the winter. What I love about these is that they're not like a typical matte lip gloss or a lipstick. They're more of like a mousse. So you put it on, it's very comfortable. It gives you that pigmented lipstick look without like the commitment of like feeling like there's something on your lips and it's annoying, if that makes sense. And I also love their vinyl lip polishes. I like to top the lip polishes over the mousse ones. And these are my two favorite shades. The top one is in the shade Birthday Suit, and the bottom one here is in the shade Act Natural. I don't know how else to describe the way they look except for like a patent leather almost kind of look on your lips, if that makes sense. I guess that's why they call it like a vinyl lip polish. I don't know, but they're really good and they're super inexpensive and they don't smell bad. I find that some of the drugstore ones, they have such a funky smell, but the Revlon ones, it's not such a crazy smell. Like there's definitely a little bit of like a fruitier smell, but nothing crazy. And I think that there's shades for everyone. So the Revlon ones typically retail between like $6.99 and $9.99 depending on if they're having a sale. I know that they're having a sale at Ulta right now and it's $3 off. So if you wanted to check them out. And the lip paints, I have found them on Walmart or Amazon. I think that the Spicy Blush is still available at like Target and Ulta, but they're under like the $7 mark for the most part. So these are even more affordable. So I try to incorporate things that I love that I buy over and over again that are both more high-end and more inexpensive. So I feel like I have more of a realistic makeup collection. So I don't have all high-end. I have a mix. So if there's something that's really great that's high-end, I'll buy it. But for the most part, I like to stick with a lot of drugstore too, because you can get really great products at a really inexpensive price. So that's everything for today. I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. I do all videos like beauty, I do home decor, organization, cleaning, some fashion here and there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.